We have to come out of this matrix, y'all, because it's more to life than this matrix. And this H&M thing got me buzzing because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, y'all. These bodies are machines, literally. They're just machines. We have legacy, which I'm going to explain more about in another video that we have to worry about, which is why we have to get out of the matrix. And I don't know, I'm thinking that maybe I have to come up with another name other than the matrix. Well, no, because the matrix is not the end all be all of something. It's not just negative. It's positive and negative to anything. Everything is a tool. But I have a playlist called Warships. And it's a play of words on the word worship. Because what is it that we worship? What do you worship? What do I worship? You worship God? I worship God. But I worship the inner God, the God in me. And anytime we worship a God that is not the God in you, we are given power, because we are an energy source, and we're given power to another power source and fueling their matrix. And what we don't understand is that we are each individually, we are our own matrix. And I know some people out there like, I can't, they can't even get past the fact that you got to come out of the matrix. Well, you don't got to, but you will continue to be enslaved, and you will leave a legacy of enslavement. As long as you choose to continue to live in the matrix, you will continue to be in enslavement. Okay? So the play of words that I use when it comes to warships is based on spaceships. It's some people out there that can't even grasp the fact that they need to get out of the matrix. I'm like, damn, well, that's just the beginning. That's just the prerequisite, because you don't even understand that you are your own matrix. And you have to worship, be grateful for, be thankful for the God in you, not the God that is in something else fueling that matrix, because we are each our own matrix. Okay? We're each our own matrix, and we need to come out of the matrix so we can fuel and power up our own matrix, and so that we can learn how to use these damn spaceships, okay? And I didn't get the whole story, but I loved what I heard. Like, I heard people talking about something that Trump said about, I don't know about a UFO, or there's no such thing. I don't know what he said. Something about a UFO. And I don't remember the exact quote. Maybe I need to look it up. And, feel free to correct me if I'm just going to try to get the gist of what I think happened here. It's like, there's no such thing as unidentified objects, or I don't know anything about it. And that's right. You goddamn right. I don't know nothing about no unidentified flying objects. I know what that is. That's identifiable. You know what I'm saying? And President's like, he don't know about that, because it's identifiable. There's people out there that know things that the masses don't know. That's an unidentified object. You may fool some people all the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time, okay? So a lot of people are not even aware of spaceships, okay? Call them unidentified objects. And some people don't even know that they have a spaceship. Some people don't understand the concept of they have to come out of the matrix. They have to understand their own matrix, power up their own matrix before they can even start to grasp the concept of a real spaceship. But until you come out of the matrix, you'll always be blinded to that. And until you come out of the matrix, you're going to continue to be blind about what true legacy is. It's not about riches and wealth. Now, riches and wealth is something that comes along with it once you actually understand that the legacy that you leave behind is what it is that you plan on coming back to the next time around. So it's important that you guys clean up as much karma as you can. You want to get balanced out, and you want to start dealing with your childhood traumas, okay? Number one thing that I do, one of the things that I do to start dealing, I did to start dealing with my childhood traumas is use my dream state. So number one, you would use your dream state to learn how to face your fears. Don't run away from stuff in your dreams. Because what you're running away from a lot of times is a childhood trauma or some type of trauma that fractured a piece of you and is stuck in a particular age. It's childish. It's immature. It won't grow up. You got to heal that. But you got to stop running away from the things that might be chasing you in your dreams, because it's just a piece of you that's trying to get your attention. And I know for myself, when I figured that out and I turned around and started to face the scary thing would just morph into something like really sweet and warm and fuzzy. But the more you run, the uglier, the worse it gets. And then when you turn around, it's like it's deep and it's love and it's a part of you. And you have to, well, you don't have to, but you should at least try it for yourself. In your dreams, try to remember to not run, to turn around and ask questions of whatever it is you think is after you, because it's a piece of you that needs your attention. Okay? So there's more to it. You got to do your research on it, because I don't want anybody, getting messed up. But anyway, and then another thing that is important, if you want to understand how to eventually, once you understand the importance of coming out of the matrix, and once you start making that path to come out, you're going to need to be balanced. And you have to really learn how balanced you are. And one of the things that has helped me to really get a understanding and grasp this concept is having outer body experiences and induced outer body experience, because it's a science to it. Okay? Now, I don't know if anybody want to know about it. I can give information, references, or where to look that up, because there's a specific person that will teach you how to do it, like, with good precision. Like, he's really good at explaining exactly what the trigger is to get you to each phase. Okay? So for me, the first time I had an out-of-body experience, and it was many years ago, I came out of my body, and I was so excited that I snapped back in, right? And so the lesson that I got from that is you have to be able to control your emotions. So it's not good enough for people to say, oh, don't get overly upset, don't get overly angry, to the negative side, because it works in the opposite way. You have to learn in life how to not judge things or to see things without fear or favor, because the key is balance. You want to think of any type of actual energy source that is used, it needs to be balanced or grounded, is what they do with electricity. And it's the same thing for us, because we are a matrix. We have our own matrix, which is why we have got to come out of what we call the matrix, the big brother. And I am actually putting out a video probably right around the same time as this one concerning relationships and advice. The first one is going to be from women, because I am a woman, but a lot of the advice I'm going to do it for men, because some of the things are the same. And this is just how to recognize if you really, really want to be in a loving connection that's loyal, what you can look at to help you determine if you shouldn't even waste your time. You can know the end at the beginning with some of these things. And I'm just going to give you one hint, is how it is they relate to the matrix, how it is that they relate to the everyday illusions of life, which is TV and sports, You know, are they overly... I'm not going to go into it. It's going to be just, you're going to have to check out the video. But anyway, so recognize the matrix so you can start protecting your energy from that outside matrix and start containing the power and the energy within yourself and build up. Well, we already are a matrix. It's just, it's offline, right? Our own matrix is offline right now. But we can stop praising and worshiping, get out of the warships, you know, we're going to stop worshiping the enemy. And the reason why I say it's the enemy is because it is keeping us away from our own self. And this is like one of them situations, like if you ain't for me, you against me, period. At this point now, there's levels to it, but that's where we are right now, okay? So the matrix is important. Particularly, I want to say to my black sisters, in the light of this H&M thing that has happened, the least amount of people on the planet are black people with afro hair, tough afro hair. A lot of people will, you know, say it's antennas, and yeah, these are our antennas, which makes our spaceships more powerful than other spaceships. We are being distracted so that we can stay within this particular matrix and not come into our own matrix. And the more pure the bloodline, the more strength will be in these spaceships. It's important to learn about legacy. So that's all connected. You have to learn the importance of legacy, what it really is. It's not wealth. That's just something that is added to it, because with the actual legacy, you know, how could you not have that, you know? So you have to think about legacy. The importance of pure bloodline and the importance of not having the pure bloodline. So one of the biggest fads and distraction is that you have a lot of black people turn into other races. And I don't want to say just black men, but we just see it a lot with our black men that will date anything but black women. And that's okay. And it's so important because black people, once we get the understanding of our spaceships, okay? The spaceships is an emotional thing, it's a spiritual thing, okay? It just made me think of this. It's an anime cartoon that just came to my mind. I don't know anything about it. I just saw a vision of it. It's like these people walk around and they have some kind of thing that's, I don't know, sometimes it's a spiritual animal or some type of machine, and it's like it's like a different realm, right? Our spaceships is on a different realm. We can enter these spaceships when we go into the astral world as well, but when we astral travel. But so we want to make sure that we are building up our spaceship, by the way. So if you knew, or if somebody knew, that the stronger the bloodline of black people, the more powerful the spaceships were, they would want to have as few black people aware of that as possible. And once we get the understanding, once we come out of the matrix, once we start building the power, the worship within us and building our own spaceships, it will be the most powerful. And the thing about it is, if we were to become the leaders, like in the next age, you know, we're moving out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius, which is why I'm an Aquarius, so you know I'm gonna talk about some spaceships. They say we alien anyway, so I'm all over that. But so the people who turn their back on their own people, their bloodline is not going to be pure, okay? Which is a good thing. You do not want to have snakes, traitors, backbiters leading, Okay. Now, my concern is that once people start recognizing the importance of the purity, people might try to create purity just so that they can have power in the next, realm, and in the next, generations to come. Once they start to understand, for those who start to understand what legacy truly means. And so if there's people whose interest is solely in power, they may intentionally do things to try to secure that power, of keeping things pure. So I would like to invite my black sisters to be okay with any black person who wants to willingly give up their birthright, who are willingly giving their power away, who because they think they're going to something that's powerful in this old timeline, right? That's changing. And so eventually everybody's going to catch on. And by that time, it'll be too late for a lot of these people. So you want to be okay. Don't take it personally that people don't want to keep the bloodline pure. You see the royal people, they try to keep their bloodline as pure as they can. And they do it for a reason. And they already have a weaker spaceship. So it's even more important, and it's the most important thing is they keep the people that will have the superior spaceships unaware and focus on this 3D material world, so that we don't take over anything in other realms and realities. So just keep in mind, I am going to put out more information about this stuff, but don't be offended. Everything happens for a reason. You don't want everybody who has this, who has the potential to be in power to actually be in power. Okay?